All right. Hey everyone. Welcome to another Little Witch RP live play TTRPG session. Little Witch RP is me, Faye, and Lachlan. We are a couple who love sharing stories, so much so we quit our day jobs and created our own company to create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. I'll leave what this session features besides our playing Starfinder to our game master, Sekrain. But uh, just want to say that if you'd like to join us at the table, play in some games that we've got going on, you can check us out at our website, littlewitch.com. Join us in our Discord. That's where we've got all sorts of announcements and ways for you to play with us. And yeah, so that's it for what I got to do. So let's go over. We also have Sirenscape. Sirenscape provides all of our background music, sound effects, and all that great stuff. You can find out all about them at their website, sirenscape.com. And now, over to Sekrain.
Hi, thank you, Faye. Why am I thanking you? I feel like someone like news reporter.
And Sekrain, now it's over to you.
And second,
Reporting from the scene of the accident.
There's gonna be an accident
wow,
in
there's
a
so
moment.
many moods here.
There's gonna be an accident in a moment in the coming conversation.
Space
Hello
accident.
and welcome to Homeward, this live, actual live play of Starfinder. And well, to catch up in terms of the story and what has been transpiring, the Drollark, after all the crewmates in it woke up without no memory or no recollection of who they are, what they're doing, where they are, and they start to make their way back home. They've been dealing with various things, both from outside and within the ship, various issues. Last time we were having a moment of our our squad. Keep trying to say heroes, but I'm still not sure if you are heroes or not. There's one of you that is a hero, and the rest of you, were mostly beginning to figure out a bit more about themselves, getting some situations ready here and there. Nelodius was checking in with the various crewmates that were helping on keeping some of the water going in the reserves now that the water tanks have been fixed. And he went around getting the morale high up with a slight expense of maybe some minor friction between the people with magic powers and the engineering team. Mac went on around checking on the different individuals of the group, including S. And S actively, as usual, avoided large crowds, avoided more social contact, and was by himself just interacting a bit with the AI aboard the ship, the adjutant, or nicknamed Addy, and also make the poor AI wonder about morality and if maybe he was good or bad back when they had memory.
I'm not allowed to miss a session anymore.
I'm not going to apologize for what I did.
Yeah.
Kay was mostly just working and having to deal with the counselor team, but during all of that time, at one point, Nulodius was just having a moment for himself, figuring out a bit of the voices that um, the voice that somewhat Call has been feeling from the void itself, the great expanse out there in the dark, and for a moment having a connection into beyond, feeling this somewhat kind of a weird revelation of what is out there in the void, and feeling a call of something
Right.
strange, absolute alien, but at the same time familiar, and him reaching out. And when he came out of that vision contact, he felt almost near dying, and in his palm a blackened spot has
Bony?
formed where,
Creepy
yeah,
adjective is
it feels like
bony?
the skin had calcified in a very similar way of a corpse that they found back when kicking throughout the ship. And at that moment of him trying to start to piece together what happened. The door rang. The bell. Yeah.
The whole
rang.
door rang. Bong.
You know what? Considering who's on the other side of that door, I'm not surprised.
The someone called at the door, and it was Mac. At which Melodius lied about his well-being, and Mac noticing, and we are taking in right as you guys are at the doors, right at the what is it called? Door frame? Yeah, door frame. Right?
Yeah, it's a door.
Entryway.
Yeah, the entryway. Melodius, you're still inside your apartment. You're trying to be like, yes, nothing to be seen behind me. Well, there's a bit of a bit of disorder around. And Matt, you are at the other side. You notice that Melodius indeed was. He didn't openly lie to you about, yeah, I'm fine, but you can see he is disturbed. He's putting a very firm mask, but you managed to pinpoint a few things about him. And yeah, so starting off, I think Mac wanted to talk something with Melodius.
If I remember, Mac wanted to talk to Noel about us, but that seems like not important at the moment.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What about my fit of silk robe, house shoes, and gardening gloves strikes you as odd?
It's the gardening gloves and
This
the
is
disaster
my chill
behind
out
you.
outfit. That's just a ruckus that happened. Don't mind that.
A ruckus. We're
What
gonna
do I
describe
owe?
what kind of a ruckus happened with you, Noah.
You know, it's not important. But wait, what do I owe the unexpected pleasure to?
Well,
Don't
I was
mind.
gonna talk. Now I'm more suspicious that you pointed it out, but we're gonna continue on that conversation in a
It's
second.
just some free-range gardening. A cardio activity, you know.
No, and I put both my hands on your shoulders and go, you have like a biosphere that you can do that in. You don't have to do that in your room.
For companionship.
We should
What,
talk.
why are you here?
These two people who don't like each other, but have an uncomfortable conversation. So, what do you actually know about us? We should go inside. Let's go inside. Let's go inside the room where Addie is listening.
Just about to say, just hanging out in the hallway? What do you
Hang
know
on,
about
let's
us?
go inside the room, please.
Very well. Can I offer you a drink of some kind? Coffee, tea, liquor? It's like dramatically sweeping his arm into his immaculate quarters, except for the plants. That
Except for
ruckus.
the disaster.
the ruckus that has occurred.
Do you need a drink after a ruckus has occurred?
I feel like. Oh. No, he poured a drink. That's right. He poured a drink to go like open and answer the door
Oh,
that he's
God.
holding in his
You're
garden
holding a
gloved hand.
That
It's
is
not. There's
somehow
nothing
more
in it.
suspicious.
It's just the tumbler. It's just the empty tumbler. I'm good, actually. Like to
Don't
keep a
have
clear
you-
mind.
Sigrid, can I smell the alcohol on his breath? As the resident alcoholic of the ship.
You are muted, Sekrin.
You're muted, buddy.
Make a perception check. And
Oh god, where's my character sheet? Where'd I put it?
I have no idea what you try to make a stealth, a deception, a
Melodius has had
Ace.
like an drink. One.
Sir, I'm an alcoholic if you think you can hide that from me.
I do not know what role would it be to
I don't know
present
how
the
you
idea.
feel. I don't know how you feel about a 30, but that's what I've got.
Maybe like a constitution?
Maybe a con roll? Sure.
As far as Mac knows, Noel doesn't drink.
The con is more to see if Melodius got a little bit drunk off of that drink.
Makes sense.
It's a 12.
But you get a hint of alcohol, but it's just light. Probably he indeed drank, but I mean,
Yeah.
it
That's
seems like
just
small.
setting off the alarm bells, because according to Mac, Noel is too, boring to drink, so...
Rude.
Why does Melodius' thing just keep saying "Okay, Google" like 15,000 times?
So, I don't.
funny!
What I've found about this, is that if it can't quite make out what it's hearing, it defaults to two things: "Okay, Google" or "set alarm for." I don't know why. That's it's Google's speech to text AI functionalities. But that's what I've noticed is when it doesn't quite, like, if it's picking up background noise, like, and making that sound like words, it'll do like set alarm for X time. Okay, Google. It's weird.
I
Okay,
like to think that there's
I was curious.
Yeah.
no. I like to think that there's just a
Ghost.
ghost like hovering right here, just going, "Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google." What do you need to remember?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Google. He's just having a day.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue. Nothing
Yeah.
to see here.
I said, okay, Google. Okay, yeah, are you okay? Let's talk about you for a minute, Noel.
I'm fine. I'm great. I actually, I had a very productive day talking to the whole water industry that I have made on this ship, and filling the stopgap there. Sort of checking in with how we're doing over in the Science and Arcane division. I just came back to do a little bit of light gardening. What about you?
I'm sorry, I just looked at my computer and saw Cyprian fighting like a fly or something. It was a little funny. Hooray. I'm in a giggly mood, I'm sorry. What's going on with me is probably not as important as what's going on with you.
I don't know why you're so obsessed with this. You don't
It's-
particularly like me, and the feeling is
I don't
mutual.
particularly like anybody.
Right, but you particularly dislike me more, probably. Or maybe I'm just projecting, because I don't like you very much. So it just strikes me as odd that you... And then he's like, absently paced over to where he has these two chairs set up in his little, library-type area. And just sort of sat himself down. And like the different books that he was reading through, the different journals and the two novels are still sat out on the coffee table there. You don't particularly care about me, and that's fine. We're just colleagues. So why are you really here? It's not really important. It's just private things going on. It's a private room. I'm a free man.
I wasn't saying you weren't. I was more concerned because S seems to be more paranoid than normal.
Well, that is concerning. He's
Yeah.
already quite paranoid. I would clock him in pretty high up on the paranoia roster that I keep in my mind at all times.
That's an unsurprising list that you have. I'm sure that you will order your friends in likelihood of betrayal, and don't tell them about it because it would change the order in which they appear on the list.
It's very kind that you think I have enough friends to keep a list of. If there is such a list, I have not found it yet. I know like 3 people, and I like 2 of them.
I'm glad that I'm the third one. Mac is still standing as he looks at this chair. That it's the chair that definitely looks like it doesn't belong in this room,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's the chair that it doesn't look quite right. So he's like, I don't know if I should sit there.
No, Noel very sarcastically was like, "Sit, please. Don't just stand there."
Please.
It's more
You need
awkward
me
if
to-
you stand.
Yeah, just looming
It,
over him.
it is, but he's like, I don't know if I should sit there. This chair is clearly meant for somebody else.
No.
But yeah, he'll
Sit
go
down.
sit. Okay, he'll sit in the chair.
What do you think has him antsy?
I don't know, because he doesn't talk to me about things that are outside of what's currently going on. I figured if he was going to talk to anybody, it was probably going to be you and Hey.
He had mentioned some concerns going forward with the, running of the ship and how our expedition through the void is going. But nothing I would flag as concerning. Nothing abnormal as far as anything is normal in this situation.
Do you remember the little Shunta that kept apparently staring at me in our mission?
Vaguely.
Apparently S had some words for them. Which is something I've never known S to do.
Yeah, seeking out someone to specifically have a conversation is a bit out of character for him.
Not to mention having a conversation in an intimidating fashion to keep them away from me.
Oh. Well, I have seen the intimidation in various forms or another. Sort of just a vibe. I'm surprised, though, big strapping fellow like you. Is us worried about you?
I'm not surprised if you would be. A lot of stuff happened from where I was.
You seem like someone who can handle yourself.
Handling yourself, and then there's other things that happen in the world that you can't control. And just because I'm big does not mean that I wasn't the victim of many things, no.
I suppose I've always just, associated physical prowess with invincibility, but
I know you can see that I have two different arms, right?
and you can see I have a cane.
We're not invincible.
Why? It still seems too specific for S to have gone out of his way for someone that you, presumably, don't know. Is that correct?
I did.
Ah. Some sort of prior to the big forgetting?
Were you there? You were there when I first woke up, right? You remember that I had the thing around my ankle that beeped?
Ah, yes, your fancy anklet.
We'll
You were a
call it
prisoner, I
fancy
know.
anklet. Yeah. They were part of my former crew.
Ah, former crew. You were on a ship before this one.
They haven't. I know Hay probably wasn't going to say anything, but S was the one that sent me the file, so I figured S knew. Hasn't said anything to you?
He has not. I trust if it's
I was
something
on a
personal, he would
ship.
have kept it personal.
I was on a ship that tried to take over this one. That's why I'm here. I was
Ah.
caught. One of the Legionnaires ripped my arm off.
Well, shit. Ah. What, some sort of hijackers then?
We were space pirates.
Well, I assumed space was part of it.
Yeah. Hijackers, space pirates, whatever you want to call it. I was notorious. Part of the Verdant Sun.
Verdant Sun. Sekrin, have I heard of the Verdant Sun? How famous are these people?
Ooh, roll a. I think it's a society check, the one that would be close to anything of history, if I recall correctly.
Society.
Society.
Trying to talk to S and S gave me nothing.
Okay.
I think it is.
Society? Is there a society?
You know what?
Culture.
Culture. That's the one. I'm mixing Pathfinder.
Okay, I just looked at.
Yeah, it's culture. It will be culture.
29.
Right. As you're trying to think about the name Bird and Sun, it. Funny thing, you don't remember a direct information, but you remember a piece of memory, and it is
Oh God, did I kill Noel?
again.
Oh God.
As you're thinking about it, it brings you back to you reading and doing like research, but not in the terms of biology or life science or something like that. It's more of like about ships, about captains, about like very random kind of research, and you're not sure what you were looking for.
I
And
can
you
tell you
stumble.
exactly what that was. That was him looking for an internship after graduating college. Like, what could I do with this degree? Sorry, that's the reality I'm invoking.
Not for that, but it's somewhat of like you looking like trying to confirm information of something and trying to answer questions that at the moment do not bring to your mind. But among all of that, and you're jumping from topic to topic to topic to topic, and it comes about captains that were from the Absalon fleet, and among all that, it appears just the name Burdenson. The ship belonged to the defense fleet of Absalon Station, and among the information, something that made it pop a bit in your mind was the fact of like, like, oh, interesting, fascinating, was that it was marked as kind of disavowed by the fleet itself, the navy, and that its captain took the ship and did not return with orders. The orders to return to port were never fulfilled and went on, and that it had been reported to be up around the diaspora zone, indeed committing piracy.
Okay.
So it's a name that has come around.
Gotcha. Does Null have any sort of sense of how long ago they went AWOL? Like, would he have the sense that Mac could have potentially been part of the original crew? or is this something that happened a while ago?
Oof. With a 29, I would say no. It is the point that you're doing this research and what time frame that whole part of the records about the brother and son came true are something that you don't get a sense of if this was long ago, if Mac would have been there when you did the research. All the time frame, it's just
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, after this little revelation, Null is sitting back in his chair a little and, staring down at his big dirty gardening gloves. Were you... I don't know the extent to which you remember this, but were you just in it for the money? Sense of adventure? I understand there's a lot of reasons someone might turn to a life of crime, but it's...
I stole something from the crew when I was on a planet. I was a runner for somebody else. They caught me. The captain beat the shit out of me until I joined his crew.
Okay, weird job interview. What did you steal?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
And it's not that important.
Well, that's a lot of very important things we've forgotten.
Stealing anything from a group of pirates is gonna get the shit kicked out of you.
Oh, I'm sure. Not from personal experience, but they don't really have a glowing reputation. But, if it's any consolation, S did not mention that to me.
I don't know if it is. Because if he wasn't telling you that about me, what isn't he telling us about him? What has S remembered? Not that I don't trust S. I trust S with my life. I've done it 100 times by now. I'm just concerned.
In respect of the fact that he, didn't... He has mentioned things in confidence to me that I don't necessarily feel is my purview to share. You should probably ask him.
I have.
Then maybe it's not up to you to know. There are things in this universe that we...
There are things in the universe that you're not supposed to know, and there are bears that you aren't supposed to poke with sticks. I get that. But I'm gonna be concerned if one of my friends is hurt. Like how I'm concerned that you're wearing gardening gloves with your fancy robe.
I was gardening.
In your fancy robe?
In my fancy robe.
No, you don't like getting dirt on your sparkly shoes, let alone on your fancy robe.
How dare you? Okay, fine. And Null's just gonna, flick his wrist and, big oversized gardening glove falls away and he's just gonna hold out his hand. I don't know what that is. And I'm a little bit freaked out. I had sort of a flashback memory, and you are not the person I want to tell about this. I don't really want to tell anyone about this, but I had this, you know how we've been getting those sort of visceral memories of the time before, and I was talking to the...
That's the way we become friends.
Trauma dumping.
We just trauma dump on each other?
it works.
Certified. Certified friend-making method.
When I'm taking a drink.
I remembered the captain, who we have not found, by the way. Just keep that rolling around in the back of your mind. We don't know where he is, but we were some time ago.
Yeah, we don't.
Circling, exploring some sort of planet, and there was discussion of an esoteric temple, some sort of ritual space, and yada yada yada. I touched the void, and the void touched me back, and now this thing is in my hand. And
Okay.
it seems similar to.
It is. Can I poke it as he puts his hand in front of me? Just poke it.
You poke it, and
Is anything
you
happened?
have poked flesh. Sentence. But when
Please, somebody quote that. You have poked flesh.
when you poke it, it doesn't feel like how the rest of his hand and skin should feel. It feels hardened. It feels rugged. And when he like shows you and just like you see closer.
Is it more
and-
like?
Mhm.
Is it more like stone or is it more like leather?
Bone is my understanding.
Yeah, it would be more closer to bone sensation.
Yeah.
But you see that when it moves, it when
It
Null is
flexes and
moving,
moves like skin.
it flexes. You still see some of the markings of how the muscles would move across it, but it feels hardened, and you see also how it's not like perfectly cut spot. You see that there's some points that were like spread a bit more, and you can see the transition between the skin and the spot.
So it's like the spot is on top of skin? Or is a part of the skin?
It's a part of the skin.
Great.
Like a
It's
hardened.
calcified.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Sky is thinking, and then I'm looking at Mac's stats and going, Mac's not thinking that. Mac is thinking, oh, cool, bone, and then goes, that's not supposed to be there.
Bone!
Ah, cool, that's bone, but bone isn't supposed to be on the outside of your hand.
Like a bug! So...
Yeah. I think that we should research into the void.
How
If
do you
that's a
do
thing
that?
You can do. Yeah, I don't either.
It's sort of just this. There's always sort of been a guy, as far as I can understand, that I've talked to, sort of heard. I don't know if you know this about Lashunta, but we can sort of telepathically communicate. And at some point in my life, I assume I hurt one of my antennae, as you see. And I don't recall how that happened, the whole forgetting thing. But since the moment we woke up, there has been sort of a little voice in my head, and I have mentioned that. I have been pretty open about the voice, just the one voice that I've heard, and I have been attempting
I
to
remember
converse.
Yeah.
I've been attempting to converse with it, because I don't know if you've noticed, but we are in the vast expanse of space, and there's nothing else out there. I know that you think there are the space in between. You ever think about how it's called space? The thing that is not there? The space, the void between things is what we call it. Anyway, I have been attempting...
Well, yeah, but... No,
What?
I was just going to talk about molecules and string theory, but that's fine.
Okay, fine. Really, in botany we call them cells. Again, defined as the empty spaces in between. Not important. I've been trying to converse with this thing, trying to figure out where it lives, what it is. I would like to understand it. I'm a man of science, and I like to understand unknowns. And anyway, a little freaked out,
Both of these characters are having full panic attacks.
and yes, it's been a little harrowing. There was this whole thing with the hallway that was terrifying, but I am for some reason, I mean, I can't question this by any means. I'm clearly good for the job, but I have been selected by this thing, this void, whatever it is, to carry out its purposes, and I intend to do that because it's what I'm meant for. It's what I'm perfect for. But it's I didn't expect this, and I can't help but think of the resemblance it holds to the calcified body of the first mate that we found and is
Yeah, I
currently.
thought about that too.
Yes, we're working on studying it a little bit down in science and arcane, but
Well, here's the list of things that maybe we could do. Find you a pair of better fitting gloves.
sure.
Figure out what actually killed the first mate and why his body's all calcified.
We haven't gone
Because
to
of-
his quarters.
There's that too, but also the bodies that we shot out into space when they
Mhm.
became alive.
Mhm.
Were their genetic structures changed?
I don't think we looked.
Because if they weren't, I think I might have a way to find the captain. When
Are you
becoming, well, Addie, you would to join any kind of a military, you would have to provide a physical exam, and a physical exam would require some kind of a blood test. A DNA sequencing is kind of a standard.
Sure.
Could we track the captain using his DNA through the ship and Addie?
Can you do that,
the
Addie?
ship has it.
Oh,
If
you call
Addie
me.
has the profile, I'm gonna just put it now.
Do you have genetic information on all the crewmates?
Let me see. I'm back. I think we do have. Um, mm, well, I see the folder where that information should be. It's broken.
It was a second telling me no.
I think it's a part of the stuff that S is working on. Well, was working because he has been kind of just here with me.
What do you mean?
Either way, yeah,
What do
What
you
do you
mean
mean
he's
S
just-
is there with you?
yeah, in the server room. He's here with me. Do you want me to patch him through with you?
No. That's okay.
Ah, okay.
Interesting.
No, but yeah, he was working on the files. I was just feeling how he was working on restoring some of those, but the DNA wasn't one that he was prioritizing. But apparently, yeah, there's some of that in the medical information of the ship, just in case that someone needs like a blood transfusion, seeing the compatibility of species. Did you know that the Shirin are halfway compatible with many of the species?
No.
Except plant-like. Plant-like, they're not very compatible in terms of blood, but still, it is preferable to have a Shirin, not host. What is the word for it? Donor for the blood. Yeah. Either way, can I help you with anything else?
I am fascinated by the implication that a plant might need a blood transfusion, but
I am too, but we'll ask Pluquar about that later. Did you forget about Pluquar, your lab assistant?
No. I know who Pluquar is.
Actually,
Can
Blueboard
I
is the
get-
only plant entity of this in this ship.
Well, let's hope he doesn't need a blood transfusion. Coconut water, maybe.
Chlorophyll? Addie, can I get a map transferred to my data pad of here to the first mate's quarters?
Oh, it's 4 doors away. It's in the same deck. I can like point it to you. And you see the door opens in that moment, and lights like begin to adjust, which unnerves one of the other officers that is just walking through and just like stops like, and just hurries his step. But you see, like, he has-
we're not
It's
standing
the
anywhere
hallway
close.
event for that particular guy.
Yeah, it's
That
like
hallway
when-
just became the nightmare hallway for that dude.
Yeah, he just bolted, but you see
He
that-
wants to move now. You wanna go? That was 4 doors away.
Sure.
By the way,
I was-
Also, can you tell us what S is working on now? Don't alert him or tell or talk. Just can you describe what you feel him working on?
Oh yeah, he's been working in the security of the server, helping restoring my capacity.
Hmm.
He's also been he's also taught me about a few things about being a good person or a bad person. I'm so
Oh,
confused
good.
about that.
He taught you a computer, morals.
I mean, I think I'm
Yeah,
capable
like
of that. From my
I feel
understanding,
like that's
I
like
am not
me
just.
teaching the computer morals.
Mm, mm, I don't know. I mean, S is just
Y'all
as a.
three are not the right people for this job.
It's just
Feel
told them that
like-
they don't exist. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what Backward said. There's no such thing as morals.
I mean, S is just a life thing, just like me.
You know,
I mean,
that's fair.
I'm tied to
Yeah.
the ship, and I cannot. I don't have a physical body per se, so I'm not. I don't have the
It's the
same
computer trauma
experience,
jumping on
but
us.
but I'm still like on the same level as all of you, compared to the computers of like, for example, the Wonder. They're quite robotic.
I thought you were gonna say rudimentary.
In
You know,
a more advanced
Like say
Addy
robotic
might say
is the
that,
word with the
but
android in
Addy's a
it.
kid.
you know,
It's funny
Addy?
robotic.
you're right, and it was unfair of me to call you a computer.
I technically am a bunch of circuits wired together, but yeah.
Anyway, 4 doors down, you say?
Yeah, I the lights will guide you.
Hey,
Just
Addy.
a little.
Can you keep a secret for us?
Okay. Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah. Can you just keep an eye on S and make sure that they're okay? If anything like starts happening that you feel is wrong, just let one of us know, myself, Null, or Kay.
When you mean
And-
something is wrong, what do you mean?
I don't know. You would know best if something starts happening within your systems that doesn't feel right.
Okay. There's no response after that.
Like 8 times, and I'm scared to check it because it's gonna be Faye yelling at me.
I'm yelling at Sakurine. Somewhat.
Oh, great.
Gently.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong, Abby. You're perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that you stay fine.
Okay.
Good
So-
talk.
So to the first maid quarters.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where these two idiots are going. Somehow we're becoming friends.
Null's
okay,
still
okay.
in his fancy robe.
Mac
And
is seriously gonna take out
slippers.
his flask.
If I remember
Halfway
correctly,
there.
you only took off one of your gardening gloves.
This is true.
I'm really just gonna take out the flask and put it in Null's calcified hand to cover the spot.
Every couple of sessions, we just come back around to that picture of Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes!
And that being Null.
You can do that and see the picture, just look it up. It's great.
Yeah, so gardening glove on one hand, flask in the other one. Silk
Flask.
robe. Well, I mean, he's got his cane too. Silk robe, slippers. Let's go do a home invasion.
Exactly.
Alright. I think I'll require to jump that in a moment.
Breaking into places was easier when Addie didn't help us.
Oh, if you ask Addy, he will open the door.
I know.
Oh.
So,
But
And
Addie
if you
will
ask S, he'll
questions.
open the door.
Addie will ask questions and S just does it.
I like the idea that they get to the first mate's door and like are trying to strong arm through it or pick the lock or something, and then finally just like, oh shoot, Addie, how do we do that? Oh, I could just open it. but the idea that Addie just watches them try to get in.
They're becoming friends. Addie's having a freak out.
I think Addy would have already opened the door for you. Like as you're walking there, and
It's-
you see like the light display guiding you with each
Yeah.
it's somewhat pointed and somewhat like okay, I feel I'm on the spotlight. You see how as you're approaching, the door opens and you hear Addy. Door's open for you.
The guy who walked past Null's room
I'm
as
so
the door
bad
was
with my
opening,
God.
walked past the first mate's room as the door's open. Keeps going.
Yeah, he just hurried his pace into his room. You know what? Let's roll to see who he was.
Yeah. I want this to be
Hold
a
on.
very important character. This is not just an unimportant NPC. This is a
It's a
pivotal
stressed
character.
out Vahibel.
Um,
I would
Oh,
really
shit,
love
it's
it to
dark
be
in here.
Vahibel.
okay.
Also one of my pilot trainees.
Why the no.
No.
None of you would have seen because they hurry up their pace, but it was Alduri.
Okay.
Amazing.
Just
I love
Just imagine.
Alduri. I'm
Just-
so
just
sorry,
the otter
Alduri.
just like hurrying.
Just these
Having a
loud
weird
squeaky
day.
noises.
So, as you get into the quarters, you see that inside, it is just well kept, abandoned in the sense that no one has been in here. There's no dust because the system itself of the ventilation of the ship prevents some of
It's a
that.
spaceship.
Spaceship. Yeah, there's no dust coming in, but you see that no one has been in here. There's things that would indicate, remnants from the shaking that the ship had before that you saw all across when you woke up. There's just some things that have fallen down. There's some things in the desk, which the room itself has like almost an identical setup to yours, Null. Like it's a larger room, has some desk in here, has some areas that seem more personalized to him. It doesn't have the small garden next to the Windows section, which actually, yeah, it would be a Windows section for this one. Um, it does have some like charts and some like holographic things of like um some ships, like holographic models showing. They're a bit in disarray, so they're not fully showing some of them. Uh, but apart of that, no one has been here.
Are there any, like on a bookshelf or on a desk or something? Are there any photographs?
Make a perception check.
Hmm. Perception. Perception. 25.
Immediately seen around, you see there's a holographic display that would show photographs, like kind of a digital photo frame. And you see that um, it is showing indeed what seems like kind of a cycling various photographs. Um, among the ones that you can see, there's the one where it shows the crew, the officer crew of the Dralark, and but they don't. It's not the like all presentable, all like very well, but it seems more like maybe they are. Like maybe a celebration that is being had, so they're a bit more relaxed in their pose. They
How
are
prim and proper
smiling.
does Noel look in the picture?
He he still has the braided beard. You do see that still in that photo. He still has one antenna damage, the cane up, but instead of like the cane down and one hand in the back, like very like uh Victorian pose of like presentable. He has the cane a bit up and it's like has it over here and just like kind of playing off whatever theme or idea everyone is having, but still with a bit of that presence of like I'm slightly better than everyone here, and I know it. That knowing smile that he carries around.
Yep.
After a couple of seconds, it switches off, and you see, because of the records, you recognize the first mate, but it doesn't have the uniform that you've seen for the officers of the Dralark. It has another uniform. Um, roll me both of you culture check. Actually, I think culture check can be rolled even if you don't have training in that. Yeah, you
so.
should be.
It says culture is trained only.
Well,
Right,
well,
only.
well. Guess
Okay,
who's
if both of
trained
you-
in culture?
I'm trained.
Okay, well, the 30 for me.
Oh
Well,
wow!
it's 20 for me, so it's a dirty
Okay.
20, so.
You see the uniform that he has. It's one that has some. It's mainly like a gray uniform with some orange lines here and there. And the more emblematic thing that immediately catches your eye for both of you, it's like that navigation star, the classic navigation star that indicates northwest, southeast, northwest, southeast. That it's a
The
golden
compass
one.
rose.
Thank you. It's golden with some trims like bronze across in the circles, and the center is kind of like sky blue, and you recognize it as the Starfinder Society emblem. Um, there's no indication elsewhere in the photo of what it was, but he looks kind of a younger version of him, like maybe a couple of years from the photo of the archives that you have that have been recovering the ship. And it cycles again, and you see he's with someone in a very informal attire. That someone looks like a Lashunta, and they're like smiling, his hand over his shoulder, hugging. The other person has his hand around his waist, and it seems that they might be like in a party, in a bar. It seems a bit like late hours, whatever they are. You don't catch very well where they might be just a part like a dim lit area, maybe a bar, maybe it's night hours again. And then it switches to some like a photo, like it might be like of a planet. He seems like somewhere there, not posing, but doing some work again in that same attire of the Starfinder Society, and that's it. And well, I think, uh, Faye, what time is up?
Yep. We've got to head out to our ad breaks here very shortly, so please stick around with us. Let the ads run. They're very important. They help keep our games affordable. However, you can always make donations to help us out more directly through Ko-fi. Link for that is on screen and in chat now. So stick tight. We'll be right back to continue our Starfinder story.
Here's ads.
That's hello, welcome back. Why am I questioning our existence here?
Yeah, why are you
Hello?
questioning?
Question mark.
It's the water on the face.
Yeah. Either way, welcome back to our little story, and we will take off. We'll take back.
Return.
We'll return right at Nulodius and Mac inspecting the first mate quarters after having a hunch of maybe finding some clues there, and also apparently as they're starting to have a little bonding moment.
Yes, we're becoming friends, obviously, by trauma dumping on each other and the computer. But I'm gonna send S a message.
Okay.
With my data pad that I obviously have.
You probably have a
Why
data pad or something.
Yeah, why don't I have a data pad?
I mean,
Um,
it's like imagine probably you guys have like
yeah, I have
some
a data
equivalent
pad.
to a phone or something to just like send message and be.
Mac just pulls out his space iPhone. The green chat bubble pops up because obviously S has a Linux or it has an Android.
S has probably built his own.
Green little chat bubbles, it's fine. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, S, thinking about a way to find the captain or see if he's still even on the ship. Is there any way you can recover the DNA data files?
Eventually, I can put my program that I used before, reconfigure it. I'd have to go to my room for that.
Doing this might also be able to help us find other missing crewmates
You just get a thumbs
and
up emoji.
identify the bodies.
Thumbs up emoji.
It's the Facebook Messenger like.
Yeah,
No.
I figured. But yeah, I'm gonna continue investigating this room for clues as to what the hell happened.
Okay.
Before that, S just sends a message over to K. No, it's not your medical field, and gives an update on what the project is.
Okay.
Just because we're sort of
You're a doctor.
head guy.
You're Dr.
Okay.
Kinsinkara. You're a doctor.
It's I was just talking to my roommate about this. It's when you have like one friend who's in a very general field and you're like, "Well, clearly you know everything about this field." How like I get every question related to physical science and I have like one friend who's in nursing. I'm like, "Hey, why did this happen? Explain my pain to me."
I mean,
The, like-
somewhat. Like, if anyone who is looking at
can-
S's
I just asked Gray
chat
about rocks.
history, that would be a safe assumption. But this is going back to what K and S talked about one-on-one together.
Mhm.
You just get a thanks for the update.
Yeah, and so S will go ahead and just go back to his room, again, long way around, and reconfigure the sort of data unscrambler that he had built earlier, like from season 1. All those episodes in the back, and just reconfigure it to instead of generalized running, specifically the medical folders.
Okay. Star's working on that.
In
Any of
We go back to bonding over crime.
Go ahead, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, 2 things I want to look for. One, if there are any. I keep assuming that there's like physical books, but this is in a digital age, so there's the potential that there's not. But anything that looks as though it's a personal journal or diary of some kind. And the other thing Nelodius is looking for is if there's any evidence in these quarters that more than one person lived here routinely.
make a perception check.
Receiving stuff.
Well, you're doing that.
Perceivance.
I went into this man's personal computer, which I can only assume is in his quarters.
I mean, there's a computer integrated into the desk. 20 for perception?
23.
23, okay. At a quick glance, you notice that this person did not have physical books. This person was probably very into the digital kind of data and information, as you don't see a physical book around. You see just a couple of data pads in the desk, probably that way to just maybe have some separate information to work on something, but apart of that, I wouldn't say austere, but more in the practical manner. You don't see that there would be more people living in here. And Mac, you're going to get into the computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Computer check?
What are you looking into the computer? What is it
I
called?
want to know what data he has on you here. You don't just get killed and calcified for no reason, because he did not die like everybody else. I want to know if he had anything on there.
You don't get
Um,
killed and calcified for no reason. I'm here to tell you that schist happens.
It's just happened.
Schist is a type of rock. Anyway, carry on.
For the record, you guys were talking about asking people specific things. I have sent Ray a picture of a rock and said, "What is this?"
And I
If you don't
answered.
think- If you don't think that I found rocks in my yard and actually thought about just sending them to Ray and being like, I don't know what rock this is. Should I be using it for this thing?
There's no other reason to get a degree in geology than to answer all of your friends' questions about rocks and also be a really unpleasant person to go to a metaphysical crystal shop with. Quartz, it's all quartz. It's quartz all the way down. That one quartz, it's all quartz.
Quartz. Oh, quartz!
it's a quartz shop.
It's
a
quartz,
quartz
quartz
shop!
all the way down.
Okay, roll a computers to get into the computer itself of the to get access into.
If this is what I think it is, I'm gonna laugh. So it's another 30.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm just gonna
as
start saying 29.
as you begin getting into the computer, it takes you just a bit to get access into it. As first of all, even though it seems that there would be higher security, this computer has not been checked or put back into place since the whole thing happened. So it's still has gaps into its security and you can enter quickly. And information there is scrambled. It is, as you know, the old situation that you've been encountering. This computer.
Yeah, the computer forgetting shit.
Yeah. So trying to find information here that will relate to something about classification. With that roll, I would say you don't find something, and the files that you're also finding, that it's like, oh, this looks like a log of something, like the daily log or something. It's like, okay, great. There's words missing, scramble. Oh, this file is corrupted. Fun. It's just that kind of thing. So you don't. Find
It's
something.
a mess of a computer, but from like the logs and everything, can I like determine if something was going on in his life before the forgetting?
With that roll,
I lost my other glasses during the break. Oh, there they are.
with that roll, I would say you are getting the idea of how the files are organized and things are being presented. It looks like this the files themselves are more organized in a work efficient manner. If there was something to be like, oh, this is something of alert or something like that, probably you would be able to identify it immediately. But it is you will need to repair the files here to know what exactly was in there, which will take some time.
Yeah, it'll take time, and I'm good, but I'm not as good. So I'm gonna shoot another message to S. Really hope you got started on those medical files. The computer's all messed up. Was able to get in. Scrambled.
Okay. I heard half of that scrambled because some audio issues came through.
Yeah.
I noticed that, and that's why I like moved my microphone. So yeah, Max just sent you a message saying, I really hope that you started on the medical files, because I'm in the first mate's quarters. Scrambled. Was able to get in, but not much else I can do. You're better at this than I am.
I think that's a connection issue, not an audio issue.
Okay. But I heard that. I actually heard it this time.
Okay.
But if it's a connection issue and it's coming through to me, it's an audio issue as well.
I think I fixed it.
But we're good. So S will S sends another Facebook Messenger like, I really need to stop saying that. It's just a thumbs up. And then we'll pass on the information over to Kay as well. I'm heading over to look into it. If you're free, I think maybe you should be there too.
Okay.
From Kay, you get like a facepalm emoji and nothing else. But you know that
We all
means
have
they're probably on their way.
Do I have gloves? No, probably not.
I have
because the
a
others.
glove.
You have a glove. But, Mac is gonna do something probably he's gonna regret. He's gonna put his big red leather coat on Melodious.
Why?
Put your hands in the pockets.
Ah. You know, my robe has pockets.
Yeah, but now we have an excuse.
Fine.
You put your coat on me. 'Cause I put your coat on you so you wouldn't get your robe all dirty.
Okay, fine. puts his hands in the pockets. What's in there? What's in your gross little pockets?
A
A
pack
pack of cigarettes and a lighter.
What has it got in its nasty little pockets?
Surprisingly, they're immaculately clean. Mac takes very good care of that coat. But yeah, it's a
there's
pack of
scent.
cigarettes and a lighter.
There's a slight scent of tobacco. in it,
Tobacco.
but it's light.
He takes really good care of his coat.
So
It's like the one thing he owns.
S and K, you're going to go into the first mate quarters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll transition to K, but we'll transition to K some time before all of this is happening. K. After my bad. After you, what was the last time we saw K? You came back from the ship, and you were checking about the situation of, making sure that the Wanderer was okay after returning from the expedition, and you were not convoked. What is the word? You were called by the rest of the counseling team, and once with them, they notify you of like a couple of things of like, this is how things are going, this is about your patients, and they also ask you like if you were going to be going out somewhat often, if you would require some help about the patients that you were seeing to, and which ones you would like to continue, that kind of organizing overall with the team and their scheduling and activities.
I also check in on the counselors themselves to see how they are managing them, like not managing with the patient load, but managing with the loss of memories, the things that they are dealing with everybody. I do a mental health check-in on the counselors.
Okay. I would say, I don't know if this would be it's not sense motive. What is it? I don't know if it would be like diplomacy or it would be like profession. I think it would be your profession. Yeah. Let's go with with either diplomacy or sense motive.
Well,
Your
I'm
choice.
gonna pick diplomacy because that's my highest possibility. $33. I'm sorry. 34.
Yeah, I mean, wait. You went from not succeeding to succeeding. Of course, you fucking succeed. So as you check on them, boy, they are struggling. Out of the team that right now it's composed by 7 more people. You see that 2 of them are doing okay. They're stressed. They are not sleeping very well, but they're managing and they feel okay with the things they're recovering from their memories. But the rest of them are struggling. They are having a bit of doubts of if they're the right people, if they really know how to do things. They're putting into doubt who they were before. The memories just don't make sense with what they feel or think. There's one of them that mentions that he thinks he has a partner here in the ship, but just hasn't been able to connect with them, and he's not entirely sure if they're really a partner or not because they found each other in their quarters, the quarters that apparently they were resting, but they haven't found where this other person would be, and they assume it might be in death. They do not know, and they're confused.
Okay.
And just, yeah.
I would like to try to spend a little bit of time with them to try to help them through this. Like, obviously you're not alone. That's what we're all dealing with, and have like a group therapy session with the counselors.
Okay.
And try to help them take care of each other. And tell them that even though that we're doing this now, I want you guys to do this even if I'm unavailable once a week. Once every 7 days.
They agree, and the session together goes good. There's a lingering sensation of there's still work to do ahead, which is a mixed feeling of we're doing progress, and oh god, more work to do. It's
such as it is.
Yeah, but at least there's a bit of a relief of getting some of it out and feeling that somewhat of what's the word? Not companionship, but like
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie, yeah, that's a word. Camaraderie between them.
I would also tell them that not to spread it around the ship, but I feel that they deserve to know that I am going to take on another mantle of responsibility in trying to help the bridge crew make decisions as the acting captain for now.
They agree on that they say it's a good decision. Some of them boys are concerned about the amount of responsibility that you're taking, and just relay that as much as you are supporting them, they are also open to support you, and yeah, they will keep they'll be discreet about the news.
We haven't decided yet on whether or not to tell the entire ship, or if that will create more problems than solving them, but they need to have somebody in charge. And whether I like it or not, they like to listen to me.
One of them shrugs. It's I forgot the name of it. It's like the Isaki? Yeah, it's Isaki. There are these like rat-like humanoids. It's small, but it has somewhat of a kind eyes, and they say, I mean, the ship also needs some sort of support. If you can help on that support, yeah, great. We agree on that. Just keep us posted if anything happens. We can help you around. And well, congratulations.
Kay looks both pleased that they're helpful and defeated at the same time. Like the shoulders are just down, and Kay sighs and says thank you, but it's not like an excited thing.
There is a comprehensive, an empathetic nod from various of them, and some share that expression of seeing more the burden than anything else.
After a minute, Kay will kind of shake it off and give a half smile, not super into it, but like I'll be okay type of thing. And after everything is done with the counselors, go and find that gift for forgot his name. Vahivel.
Okay. As you're going out, you hear. Actually, no, I will be a bit ahead of that. You go out into the living and recreational area. Now that you are walking through, you see some of the panels that more or less emulate somewhat of a clear, beautiful sky have been repaired, and they're switching to look like it's getting into afternoon hours.
Okay.
And going around, you find a couple of places that have that sell that kind of thing, of like dishes, mugs, that kind of like day-to-day stuff, and the people working there are keeping it tidy, keeping kind of like an idea of like, hey, we're selling things and we don't worry about the thing that the situation we are in. So they invite you to come in and peruse.
Yep.
Eventually, you find the mug.
For for the stream, this mug is just a simple white mug that has at the top line, where did I put it so I could read it? Because I love this mug. It's my favorite mug. It says shh, and then it has a line further down that says almost, and a line further down that's almost at the bottom. It's the bottom of the handle equivalency of now you may speak. And that is my mug that I want to give to Vahibel in payment of the one that Squishy ate. And I will get a different, very cheap mug for Squishy, who is also with me. I have not left Squishy in my room.
Okay. Yeah, Squishy drops like a bunch of melting jelly, melting jello into the mug and just like splooshes there and remains.
Yeah.
And you start noticing some areas that inside the mug it begins like munching inside of it.
I don't really know what those things eat. I just like the mental image that they eat in inanimate objects.
I like the idea that he specifically eats Vahibel's mugs because they taste like coffee.
Instead of just the plain ones that I give him.
Instead of just the plain ones, yeah. It's variety. It's the spice of life.
Yes.
They want coffee. They don't want the mug. They
Wants
want the coffee. As you're
And then
going,
I will go to the bridge.
okay. As
And
you're
that is where I will be when they call, if that's okay.
a few moments before that, though, there is a moment that you're doing that, and you get a call from one of the. Actually, you get, yeah, it comes directly from. Looks like one of the science officers, one that maybe from the botany section, saying, Kasinkara, Officer Kasinkara, Cancel Kasinkara, sorry. I have something for you from Officer Nolodis. I am at your office. I'm not sure. Adi told me you were not here and sent me the communications to you.
Oh,
Sorry
I
if
will
I'm
be right
interrupting
there.
anything. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna wait here. Actually, if you don't mind me entering your office and leaving you the package that Professor Nolodis sent you. Officer Nolodis.
Sure, that would be fine. I'm sure you're very busy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. They drop that, and once you get there, you don't see the officer, the crewmate, and when you enter, you see in your desk this perfectly cute melon. It's not as big as the ones that you seen around being presented for the stores, but it is perfectly square.
Kay is going to smile and pick it up and examine it all the way around and just kind of like start nodding a little bit and then look to Squishy and go, I think I know what we can do with this. And drop it off in her room where it's nice and cold on her desk that is specifically for carving stuff.
Mhm.
And then go back to what they wanted to do, which was deliver the mug to Vahivel.
Yeah.
And then when I have downtime later, she will work on art.
Cubes.
Square melons.
Square melons.
Infinite cubes.
So, as you're going up toward the bridge, that's when you start receiving the messages,
Okay.
and it kind of gets in your way of going over there. And as you're I want to avoid the phrase, but I can't. As you're making your way up there,
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
you encounter in the elevators S.
Hello, S.
Hi. Guessing you got the message.
I forgot what S's first message to Kay was.
Oh, the first one was the data update. Medical
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That I'd be
What-
doing that.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Why are they in the first
did-
mate's quarters?
I don't
What are
know.
the two idiots doing? Why did we leave them alone? Why are they with each other?
Do you think Vahivel will like this?
Probably not.
I don't think they've told Vayu.
Hold on, when
They
you,
just
when
She
you
kinda
kind of
ask,
did it.
stares at it.
Oh, Eslit then awkwardly looks down at the mug. Oh, I think he'd love that. I thought you were talking about the situation.
The situation. It's not a awkward silence. It just becomes a companionable silence as they walk to the first mate's quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
S is usually quiet. The only thing I think awkward in that moment was the mug.
Yeah, that's when you said probably not. Kay looked at the mug and was like, "Oh."
And then S realized, oh shit, I read communications wrong. But yeah, so as they make it to the quarters, and Kay probably would notice this from Kay's perspective, that S is kind of just looking over his shoulders a lot and keeping into that hunched form, very similar to how when you first woke up.
Kay will, after noticing that, and Kay will stop in the hallway and kind of do a tilt of the head. Something wrong?
Not particularly. Things have been happening. And
I wasn't away for that long. What did I miss?
so I've been remembering things, and that's not really a problem.
Were they
But
unpleasant?
they were
You don't
not.
have to answer.
I wasn't particularly affected by remembering them, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is a thing.
I understand. I too have remembered things that I'm not sure how to feel about them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the problem of everyone in the ship. we all remember things, but it doesn't match up to our current reality, so it's difficult.
Yeah. But, what's really kind of just, you know, with everything, the verdant sun being potentially an issue, as we are aware. And then I think that they're the ones affecting Addie, the ones deleting the files. And just being cautious. So it's just a lot that's kind of...
Is it bad that's what I hope it is?
I think that would be the easiest to deal with, so... No.
I understand your caution.
It's just got me in some old habits, I think.
It's okay. We do have Addie to help us. And you've got the rest of us. As much as we can. And you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to.
I know. But, I talk about what I feel comfortable.
Okay.
You know, if anyone, I feel comfortable is talking to you, okay? Not just because, you know, what you do, but you're just, you're comfortable to be around.
Thank you. You're comfortable to be around too. You don't have to fill spaces with noise. It's nice. Your mind is also very quiet. That's nice too.
S doesn't really say anything in response to that. He just kind of nods, acknowledging that he's heard, okay? But there's really not anything else to add on to that.
Yeah. And we continue walking down the
Yeah.
hallway.
K and S's friendship is so, like, polar opposite to this one between Amos and Null. It's crazy.
That's great.
A and S are like, okay, let's sit down and figure this out.
We're the two
No.
introverts.
Null and Mac are
Your mind is so
okay,
calm,
let's go and do
I can
it.
only imagine what I can only imagine what Kay hears in the two idiots' minds.
But yeah,
I try not to actually go into yours mind very often.
It's a bad idea.
yeah, I
It's
don't
noisy.
think it's too much
It
longer
is.
before we end up at the, because they're both people that walk with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But so what's this? What's the scene? I
boy, as you enter,
Yeah.
you
Oh
see
boy.
Oh boy.
you see sitting in front of the desk, Mac, who is a large individual, and hovering over his shoulders, looking at the screen, while trying to somewhat give indications, and Mac just being like, "I know how to do this. Probably, I actually know what to do." While Nolan is kind of like backseat gaming over his shoulder. And Nulodius is dressed with slippers. It looks like underneath Mac's coat there is his silken robe. He has in one hand a flask, and on the other his cane, which the one with the cane has a gardening glove, a singular gardening glove.
These mandibles click together a few times as to, like, it's like her version of clearing her throat.
S is just staring. He's not said anything.
So the image.
It's
in
also
my brain,
processing It's how Kay processes information while she's just
Data.
sitting there thinking.
You know when your kids come to you and they're like wearing yours or your husband's clothes and it's very big on them?
Just the big
And it's-
shoes. Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, the big shoes, wearing mom's dress, stuff like that. And dad's jacket. That's no.
Yeah,
Oh.
the
With
jacket is
6'7" max coat on him. He's being eaten alive.
Yeah, Kay is gonna eventually just look and go, why?
Good to see you
Why?
too.
There's
you
a
for
lot
Not
of
coming.
many questions as to why.
there's a lot of answers to why, but which specific why are you questioning right now?
Well, first,
Just see the top of his head in the microphone.
sorry. I'm picking at a scab. I shouldn't be, but I am.
No, I
Don't.
feel like that's the perfect visual of Kay. Just, well, first.
First, this is a
We
lot to
thought it was-
process.
We thought it would be pertinent. Remember when we found that calcified body of the
Enhance the
first
pocket.
mate? Yeah, yeah. I need to
Enhance
put my
the
hands
pocket.
in here, or I'll start
You
gesticulating.
start gesturing.
We found the calcified remains of the first mate in the captain's quarters, and got to thinking, oh, we haven't actually gone and investigated that yet. So we asked Addie for the room number, and we've walked our little way down the hallway, and that's why we're here. And we thought it was relevant to sort of just the goals we seek to accomplish as a party, as a little group of comrades.
Why are you wearing Mac's coat?
Well, it's just so fashionable.
There was dirt, and Denal doesn't like
There
anything
was
done his
dirt.
fancy
I don't like putting
robe.
things
So
on
why
my
is he
fancy
wearing a
robe.
gardening glove and only one of them?
His hands are in his pocket. How do you see that?
Because when we first walked in the room, his hand was on
On his
flask
cane.
and a cane.
Yeah.
That's true.
Shoves his hand in his pocket, his cane just falls to the ground.
Yeah.
We didn't think that far ahead, no.
I would say that anyone looking at S would notice that his hands are also in his pockets, like balled up, like fists.
It's not weird when he does it.
Wes always has his hands in his pocket.
Who's signing
find
you
it-
on?
I don't know.
I find this odd. You do not like each other.
No. Well, you
Why
know
are you
what?
wearing his coat? I know you
We're
said it's
attempting
fashionable,
a
but
form of friendship. Possibly?
is this...
Like a cat.
I don't
and-
remember this in Lashunta or Android culture.
I don't remember android culture.
It's like when you adopt a cat and you have to like give them a
To
t-shirt of
familiarize
yours
them each
so that they
other
get
with
used to
sex.
smell.
This is odd.
It's you know. I don't quite understand the coat either, but he's just so large and he just threw it at me and I said fine. It's not important right now.
Why am I
Well,
here?
it's not my fault.
Why did you call for us?
The
Well,
computer's
S
missing
specifically.
data, and it's all kinds of scrambled. The S is better at figuring out those things than I am.
Alright, get up.
MacBook, get up. Immediately, there's no hesitation.
Fucking love it. Okay, get off.
Move.
I'm in trouble now, so yeah.
S is not looking at anybody as he sits down and he just starts working.
I'm in trouble, it's okay. Mac is like, I'm in trouble, and I don't know why.
Kay just is giving everybody space. Did you find anything interesting here?
He's, the first mate's part of the Starfinder something. Hold on.
Society?
Starfinder Society. I took notes.
Saccharine, how much do I know about that society?
Roll culture check.
So, this is story dice. I already knew that I was going to be rolling computers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you the total first. The total's an 18. Because I rolled a
God.
natural one.
Wow.
And I got a natural 20 for a total of 30.
S has got
Ah.
feelings right now. They're not okay.
They're not good feelings. This is having a thing going on
Eh,
right now, and Mac
okay.
did not expect that.
Okay, as you're thinking about it, natural 20, fuck me, okay. How much time we have? Okay, we have enough. It's mentioned and you're like, okay, the Starfinder Society, what it is. And at that moment, the photo of the first mate in the uniform appears, and you manage to glance at it, and it almost hits you like a train rolling over you. At some point, you were part of the Starfinder Society. At some point, you work with them. With that memory, it hits you exactly what they do, exactly who they are. They are the society that goes out and explores into new worlds outside of the frontier, goes and investigate weird sightings. They are kind of your spacefaring adventurers and the ones trying to expand the frontier, the horizon, and also help here and there, both inside the pack worlds and beyond, into colonies, into the Vescarium. So yeah, there are society of explorers, and with that role, you also remember that you work with them in a ship. You were assigned in a ship. The ship was in the pack worlds area, and it reported often to the Absalon station, but you are familiar, and any future stuff about the Starfinder Society will be easier for you to pick up as you remember this now.
Okay.
And S, you sit down. You're not finding the mouse. You're not finding the cursor in the screen, and you're like, where is it? Being moving around, clicking.
Does S look
And then you
visibly
get
stressed?
blue screen.
You just hear, fuck. And he
Oh.
stands
And the
up.
screen then turns black, and you see your reflection. You see your expression there, like an awful mirror.
Seeing himself, he immediately, like, stands up, turns away. He's heading towards the door, and I'm going for a smoke.
I'm gonna stop him.
Get off of me.
No, what the hell just
I'm
happened?
going for a smoke, Mac.
Addie, close the door, please.
I'm going to try and shove
S,
Mac
we
off
both
of me.
know I can take you in a fight.
You
I'm
just
not
hear-
moving. Do a check.
You hear from the communications, Addie just being like, ah. And as you're about to start that, you suddenly hear, oh, guys, Bohibel is looking for you in the bridge.
That's great. Tell him we'll be
Perfect
there in a few
timing.
minutes.
Okay,
Tell him I'm on my way.
okay.
Kay starts walking with a purpose towards the bridge and stops for a second to look at Mac and S and kind of looks at Mac and goes, some people need a minute. You can't force your way in.
I'm not.
And then say nothing else and walk away.
Can I use the moment where Kay has been speaking to Mac to try and wrench my arm free and then move?
I mean,
Yeah.
you can try, but this is still strength. Is this opposed strength checks here?
If you're physically trying to hold someone, I think it would be strength, and if S is trying to wiggle and evade out, it would be dexterity. So let's just do strength versus dex for the moment. I don't remember if there's a specific for grappling and stuff.
I mean, if it's anything like D&D, it's athletics and then acrobatics.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it is
yeah,
that way
there's just enough.
too.
There's
Like,
enough, yeah,
it
we can
should
do
be.
athletics versus acrobatics. That's fine.
Yeah, so it is max athletics versus acrobatics of S.
Macintosh, you're the one that wants to keep me here.
Yeah, but I want to say mine. I want to say mine first. Because I did a math. I want to say mine first. Give me a second.
No, you're the one that wants to keep me here.
Shh, I got it. It's 32.
Cool. Can I do a dirty trick here?
Sure. Depends what territory you're trying to do.
As I'm pulling my arm back, can I grab my pistol and shoot his foot?
You're gonna shoot me.
You're gonna
That
hold
would
me here.
be AC plus A. Okay. It can be attempted.
Alright, so
Alright.
it is a 23 to wrench my arm back, which I won't break the hold, but it should grab me enough to have a clear shot with my other hand. And
Oh my god. Y'all are gonna make Kay scream at you.
I'm okay with her coming in and screaming at me because something's wrong, and Mac is knowing this, and something is happening, and he doesn't know what it is.
well, you're the one that's making it worse here. For S, in his perspective. That is a 23 to hit.
What is
What
your
is-
AC? Your KAC,
Which-
because if I recall, it
My
should be
KAC?
a semi-automatic pistol. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a semi-automatic
so-
pistol.
Yeah, you and I have both have the same pistol. You hit. It's an 18.
Alright. So, can I choose to do minimum damage here? Because I'm not trying to, like, actually, like, hurt him. I'm just trying to... Well, no, if I'm doing a dirty trick, I sacrifice damage, I believe.
It's somewhat.
You just shot me in the foot!
We're in
I would
steel
say you're.
boots.
I would say you would attempt to have the minimal damage on that as you graze the leg of.
Yeah, I just want him... Yeah, I just want, shaken. So that way I can move past. Like, the condition, if I have to choose one. Because my intention is to get Mac off of me and leave.
Mhm. Yeah. Mac, you get as you're trying to hold, takes you by surprise. A shot comes right into your leg, and you stumble out of that, and it is.
I
the shot
don't
of
think
an
anybody
automatic
was
pistol.
expecting S to shoot me.
So hearing that, Kay will turn
Yeah.
around and look, and telepathically to S specifically, so no one else can hear, go, "What?"
S respawn. Can S respawn telepathically? Or is it just... Okay. S will think back to K and... It's those bad habits I was telling you about. We can talk about it later.
Please do.
And can S... I know that the elevators lead up to the bridge, and that's like the only way up. But in the other parts of the ship, I know that there are like maintenance tunnels because I've used those before.
Mhm.
can S slip into one of those, and use that to get to the elevators? I do have, like, hella mobility, for my feats. Like, I've got the mobility, I've got the indirect retreat, I've got nimble moves. Anything about getting away, I can basically do.
Yeah, there will
You
be
shot me in the foot. I've let go of you at this point.
Yeah. No, and he's
there-
getting away. That's his goal.
There would be service tunnels in the areas of the bridge officers' resting area, so you could go there and take one of those to, indirectly get to the bridge.
I'm gonna look to Mac and go. I will have a talk with S.
Something's wrong. Something's
Obviously.
been wrong for days.
I will
This
talk
isn't me
with S.
forcing my way into anything.
What did you expect when you grabbed somebody like that?
From S, not to shoot me.
Nobody knows the life he's led.
That's part of the problem.
Why does he have to
No,
say?
no, I recommend switching the gloves to the other hand.
Yeah, Null has been sort of just shell shocked, standing in the corner during this. And he sort of took half a step to try to follow S. Sorry, what? Gloves?
Look at your hands. Think
Right.
about it. Yeah. I'm gonna take my coat back and then I'm gonna go to medical.
Kay's gonna look at Null and go, I will deal with you later as well.
I haven't done anything wrong. I'm gonna go get dressed.
And I'm gonna go to the bridge the normal way.
I'm gonna take my coat back and go to medical and treat this now hole in my foot and my shoe.
It's just a graze.
We've all been there. That's what you gotta have steel toes. OSHA recommends
He
them for this
probably
precise-
does!
Probably Mac already has
ricochets
steel
off your
toes.
steel toes and hits you in the face.
They just pulled out a gun and shot me!
Alright.
And the squat.
I'm having a
Divides
rocky day.
divides to go to different places of the ship to attend themselves and get ready for the meeting. That's what we're gonna call for tonight's episode.
Ooh, spicy.
All right. So, thank you to everyone who played here. We love it that you guys are here and watching us. Thank you to all of our viewers for watching us as well. Again, you can head over to wieldwitch.com to check out more about what we've got. Make sure to follow us here if you want to keep up to date with all of our live streams. Head over to our Discord server if you want to join the community, playing some games with us, or just keep up to date with all of our announcements. And as always, may the ever-burning light forever guide your steps. Laters!
Bye.